Of one of China's most corrupt banks. Do you think this is going to improve the impression investors have of Chinese companies?
The decision by the central government to have such a senior official to come into China Construction Bank is an indication that they are very determined to reform. And reform is so important because the stock market is not doing very well compared to the economic growth. We're seeing growth of about 9%. Even during the SARS crisis, it was hit by SARS crisis, there were many investment banks, analysts saying that the growth will be like 6-7%, but it grew about 9.3%. So when the central government makes a decision to reform, it will be reformed.
You mentioned the stock market there, certainly a laggard, not doing particularly well amongst the Asian markets. The Construction Bank of China planning to go public later this year. Do you think this new appointment is going to improve its appetite amongst investors?
Oh yes, I guess besides investors, even big banks are looking at the IPO because this is one of the very lucrative way of going into the banking sector in China. And follow up this would be Minsheng Bank of China, one of the local private bank to be listed as well. So this is a very important benchmark, and the central government is very determined to get it IPO, and that will set a benchmark for all the banks to follow along.
Now, this case that we've heard about China Construction Bank, a lot of speculation about the chairman and the sort of kickbacks he's been taking, but it tends to bring to the fore the fact that Chinese companies continue to be dogged by rampant corruption. Have government attempts to stamp out corruption been successful?
Yes, the government is trying to stamp out corruption in all sectors, all industry. It's not just the banking. And the government is trying to stamp out very seriously on banking sector now. It's because the IPO is what foreign banks, investors, and analysts looking at how determined the government is trying to reform the economy. Because we know that the economy is growing so well, but the stock market is not tagging along.
Why do you think that's the case? I mean, do you think it really is all the concerns about the corruption, or are there other issues at bay? I mean, are foreign investors just simply facing too many risks in their investments in China?
No, first of all, if you look back, China is a central planning economy just 25 years ago. It's reforming and it's in a process. Now, we cannot say that there will not be Enron in China, but just a few months back, China Aviation Oil. Well, what we see as analysts and our team find that China, big companies, state-owned companies, banks are very new to many instruments introduced to them. So they are learning, they're picking up. And today's the news that Deloitte is buying one of the biggest audit firm, or accounting firm in Beijing. And that also means business opportunity from not just the banks, even financial services, audit, so on and so forth.
Right, on that very bullish note on China, we'll leave it there. Chaw of China Knowledge Consulting.